What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the Fatherhood Village podcast, the official home for proud fathers and mentors. I'm Dale Holloway, always with my brother Kev Hick. We are your TFV hosts. Check this. This episode is all about figuring out the difference between happiness and success, and if the two correlate, what are the differences? How do we quantify them? Do you need one to satisfy the other? We get all into that here real soon. But first, we're going to talk to my brother, Kev Hick. What's going on with you, brother?
Oh man, I'm chilling, bro. No complaints. No complaints,
Awesome.
man.
Awesome. I see you
Long,
got
long week.
I see you got the festive lights in the background. See what we doing now.
Yeah. Ashley festive, man. My wife likes to decorate, so she really get into it, especially around fall and autumn and all of these different seasons. She likes to just make the house look like the outside or whatever the vibe is for this season. So yeah, it's that time. It's fall time. So she
Right.
waiting for them leaves to start dropping.
Yeah. My wife doing the same thing. She showed me some stuff yesterday. I'm like, yeah, here we go. She in her bag right now. So gotta love it. Gotta love
Yeah.
it. But yeah, man, we don't want to waste too much time getting to this topic. We talking about success and happiness. All right. So what I wanted to do to start the show off, I wanted to get into this dictionary. We're gonna find the real definitions of these words. All right, just to make sure we both on the same page. So I'm digging into Merriam-Webster on the internet, and for the definition of happy, we have feeling pleasure and enjoyment because of your life, situation, etc. All right, so kind of what I'm picking up from that is happiness more of like a feeling, it's a connection, it's stimulation, right? What it does to you, you know, internally. All right.
Hmm.
So we slide over here to success, and the most simplest term for success is the correct or desired result of an attempt. And most people can kind of understand what that is. All right. So pretty much external, you set a goal, either you reach it or you don't. And that's kind of how we level success, right? Um, so right then and there, what correlations can we derive from both happiness and success? Does this, because you reach a certain goal, does that necessarily mean we've also obtained happiness, or is just you just reached that goal and that's just what it is?
Hell no.
Does it
Hell
depend on
no.
the does it depend on the goal that we set? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can we talk? How can we break this down? Because sometimes, not reaching a certain goal that we set forth, whatever it is, we get down ourselves. The esteem drops. We get
Yeah.
discouraged. You know what I'm saying? We're not happy, walking around happy and filled with joy and stuff like that. So let's talk about how they kind of correlate with each other, and what are some of these differences.
All right. I think for me, the most important thing that anybody should do when approaching this conversation, you can't approach this conversation without the perspective of what success means to you. While Webster might define it as, the adequate or the desired result from a goal or an effort, whatever it said, you have to decide what success means for you. And as a father, as a husband, as a coworker, as an employee, as a business owner, success means different things in the different phases and the different roles that I play in my life. For me, success is a journey. It's an everlasting journey. There's no destination. I mean, I've known people to be successful in their 20s and be cracked out by their 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like I've known
Hmm.
people to be have successful phases in life, but the end result of their life is pretty tragic. Uh, if you ever think that you've made it so you can stop, success is not going to be the destination. It's not going to be where you reside. I think that to think that you made it is dangerous, and to think of success as a finality of sorts is very dangerous. So for me, success is a journey. It's something that you do every day. It's something that you strive for every day. It's something that the result of your daily habits will give you and will net you. Every day can't be about winning and losing or success and failure, but the result of your habits in totality, the result of the cycles and the phases that you go through on a daily basis should lead you to success. And I think that you can't be happy until you define for yourself what success is. Because if success for you is another man's image of wealth, then you probably won't hit it, you won't attain it. And if you do, you'll find that it doesn't fulfill you in the way that you thought it would. Right? So, first of all, before anything, define success for yourself. Success for me is growing, is evolving, is trying, is pursuing my dreams, and on behalf of my family, and who I represent, and who I'm here for. Just showing up and being dependable. That's success for me. I don't know what success is for other people. In my family, when people were not successful, they were not dependable, right? They were a burden to others. People had to worry about them. They could not provide any help or any assistance to other people. They were unsuccessful when they were unsuccessful. Um, but success, because that's the baseline of my family, success for me just meant being there, being dependable, being a rock, um, not struggling, right? And then having a few things, having everything I need and some of what I want. I'm at peace after that, man. I still strive for stuff every day, but success for me is something I just try to attain and add to my life daily. Be successful at conquering my demons. Be successful at conquering my trials or my tribulations. Be successful at not giving up. Being successful at just being present and being consistent. That's success to me. But I define that for me. As far as happiness, I'm happy with who I am because I'm happy with the effort I give every day. Now, if I wasn't happy with that, if I felt like I wasn't doing enough, I felt like I wasn't good enough, felt like I was inadequate, then happiness would be fleeing me as well. And so I think that you must define for yourself what happiness is. After you get a grip on your success, usually happiness is not far behind if you have your success grounded in realism and things that actually matter, and not materialism but realism. So I don't know, man. I think I found happiness because I defined success for myself, and I always fit that criteria. But everybody can't say that. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I kind of think that happiness has to be the foundation. Happiness has to be created first. That way, if these ideas of success falter, or you haven't reached these things yet, you still can fall back on happiness. You can still come home to happiness without the external things going on in your life. You still have something internally that you can grasp onto. Because I think happiness kind of propels us to a lot of greatness, a lot of achievements. Um, because I think we're kind of wandering around aimlessly if we don't really have pure happiness. We're trying to satisfy other people when we haven't taken care of ourselves, first. So I think I'm I think I'm safe with understanding what happiness is first, and then understanding what how I'm supposed to move forward with my current state of happiness to obtain certain things to possibly help other people, for me to gain a better footing, a better position in my life. Then we have to look at some goals I have to set forth to help provide for my family, make things easier for myself, my family, more convenient, things like that. So happiness to me is basically the relationship, the connections I have with my family,
Hmm.
my immediate family, making sure that's intact, because that's what I think about all the time. That's what I put first. And when that is sour, things aren't great there. Uh, something's always off. I'm not me. I'm not 100% if things at home aren't taken care of. So that's high on the priority list. And then secondly, happiness is probably uh, health. Is probably health and the different pillars of health. We're talking about mental, physical, spiritual, things of that nature. So I feel like long as I have those things in order, those things are being met, for not only myself, obviously the family. I think that spells happiness for me. I'm content with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm sitting with both of those. But yeah, success. It's just I don't want to get caught up in oh man, just because I didn't execute this well, or we didn't
Yeah.
we didn't get that the way I wanted to. I don't want that to affect my happiness. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't want to
Right.
get too high on my hopes of achieving A, B, and C. It's just the icing
Right.
on the cake, really. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Outside of survival, everything else is just, what I'm saying, this making life, that much better. So
Absolutely. I think and that you bring an amazing point. However, I think you know we basically said the same thing, but my assumption, because I'm truly happy, like I've been happy for years. I'm like
mhm.
my nature and my natural subconscious assumption, which I shouldn't make, but as a happy person, you kind of do that. My assumption is that no one thinks of material. Everybody thinks, well, when I say daily, if I hit my goals, if I've done the things I was supposed to do, then I'm happy.
Mhm.
Those things almost have many of them have nothing to do with me attaining a particular material goal. I have a lot of material goals. I have a lot of financial goals. But for me, what makes me happy is the father I am. When I'm performing well as a father, when my wife is
Mm.
happy, right? When we have great days and we can be like, man, damn, life is good.
Mhm.
And but that takes effort every day. I don't care how
Right.
happy you are. If you sitting on your ass and shit starts to fall around you and crumble around you, the happiness will be fleeting, right?
Yeah.
So it takes some effort to maintain those things that matter most. For me, I don't like. I didn't even think when you read the question, I wasn't like, I do want a Mercedes S550. Like I didn't even think about that. All I think about is
Uh,
my sons being happy and healthy and thriving and not struggling and having enough food. We got a refrigerator full of food. We can't fit any more food in our fucking freezer. I'm
mhm.
happy
Yeah.
because that's how my family lives, and that's just one of the responsibilities I take on. But it has nothing to do with me checking all these material boxes about the American dream and what it's like to be a successful man or how to be seen as a successful man. So that's funny that you said that because that's my belief, but I just didn't imagine that a person's natural idea would be to go to the material, but that's actually how most people see it, and I think that that's a big problem. So
Yeah.
those things, operating within my responsibilities, being dependable, being a great family member, like that's what makes me happy. And my goals sometimes get me there. Sometimes my goals are, material success or financial success help my family, so it serves that purpose. But
Mhm.
it's secondary to, just really, being present for my son, talking to him, support my other son, and just being everything he needs me to be. Like that's what
Yeah.
makes me happy. But
Right.
I don't know if I'm not the man I'm supposed to be. I don't know if I'm not a great father or if I'm not a loyal husband or if I'm not like a man of integrity in all of my dealings with people and my family and my friends. I don't know I'm happy. I don't know if I can be happy if I'm not successful at being a good man. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm
That's
saying?
that's true. Yeah. Like if that connection isn't there, like for instance, if in your own mind you felt like, okay, I got a job, I'm successfully and gainfully employed, I'm providing food, shelter, clothing, stability for the family. They go without, they want without, and yet and still there's still lingering issues that you haven't, successfully uncovered and mitigated. Then there's still levels to the perceived success
Yeah,
that you haven't achieved, because it's like you're not making sure their needs are met. So it's like it's deeper than just the what I'm saying, the fundamental things. So it's like you
yeah,
said, if you're not answering to those specific needs and wants and desires, then it's like, okay, can you really call it success? Like, Can you
Right.
really be happy? Because yeah, you did these things, but you still not all the way there. Maybe they didn't want a few things that you did provide. Maybe they rather have had this, or maybe this would be more
Right.
suitable for them. You know what I'm saying? So it was like
Yeah.
without receiving that feedback, like, oh, thanks, daddy, or you know what I'm saying, from your wife, thanks, babe, and woo woo, this is exactly what I wanted. You make us, you know what I'm saying, you make
Yeah.
this house run, you help, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're not
Yeah.
meeting those things, because in your mind, like, nah, I did it. I got you everything. I did. Uh,
They don't care
you
about
know what
none
I'm
of that.
saying? What
Yeah.
are they telling you? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
And so, like the things that I anchor my happiness on are usually the things that are are simple and free, and my things that my son naturally appreciates. Both my son,
Mm-hmm.
my one son, he just kind of likes to wrestle. He's been on that for a couple of days now, so I've been giving him that because I'm here and I'm present. He'll remember
Yeah.
that. My other son, he's been talking about how he feels about this or that, or gaining more confidence in his swim class or his basketball team. But I'm there to cheer him on. I'm there to tell him when he can, that I believe in him. And sometimes when he don't believe in himself, he gets that confidence from me. He sees it. He confirms it by succeeding, and he's like, "Wow, Dad's right. I am great. I can be good." Like those are the moments where like I'm happy because I know that something stuck with him or something stuck with my other son or I've done something that would contribute to my son's overall happiness and his psyche, because they're still developing their self-esteem, their sense of self in some other way. So for me, my manly responsibilities are a gateway for me to receive permission to be happy because we don't often give ourselves permission to be happy when we don't feel like we're successful. But most of those things don't come without some work. And like I said, I would
Yeah.
love to just wake up and be like happy. But if shit is shit's crumbling around you, it don't work like that. Now,
Yeah, it's a false sense of happiness.
right? Because you
Yeah.
you might be blissfully ignorant, but that ain't happy. That's just blissfully ignorant. You're choosing to turn. You're sticking your head in the sand. You know what I'm saying? What makes
Yeah.
me happy is that I can, and this is a big thing. What makes me happy is that I can trust myself to, by any means necessary, take care of mine. Right, and I know me
Mhm.
enough to know by any means necessary, we will be all right. Right, and
Right. Right.
I'm that person every day I wake up. Right, I don't like I can sit in that and be happy, but I still need to follow through on being that man and confirm that I'm still capable and I'm still that man daily. But because my happiness is based on my character and my sense of self, it's not fleeting. It doesn't go anywhere for the most part. But I'm more happy with myself after I've fulfilled responsibilities, after I've not broken promises, after I've you know really handled mine. And I think
Yeah.
that most men who have families and need to get shit done on behalf of other people who depend on them feel at least a boost, if not a sense of happiness, a boost on their already present happiness when they have done that.
So we can conclude that you basically can't have one without the other.
No, you need both of them. And if you
Yeah.
are happy without being successful at your fucking manly responsibilities, you shame on you, bro. I'm not. There's a lot of guys happy
Straight
doing
up.
nothing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys happy doing nothing for no one, and that's blissful ignorance. But again, it doesn't lead anywhere, and ultimately, it will be revealed that maybe that happiness wasn't happiness at all, but temporary pleasure.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So, and a lot of times we do get wrapped up in making sure we reach success by again taking care of our responsibilities uh fully. But is there times when we may is okay, are there levels to success? Because, or excuse me, happiness?
Oh
Because
hell
there
yeah,
could be a level of success, or excuse me, a level of happiness achieved by making sure that our responsibilities are met, making sure we taking care of what need to be taken care of at home,
yeah.
um, making sure the finances, everything else is in order. But like we said on another episode, are we taking care of ourselves? I like our own needs being met. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Is it
yeah,
just like
yeah.
just one gear happiness? Like either you happy, you not happy. Which one are? Or is it like I'm happy, but I guess it could be better?
No, I think there's always levels. They say there's levels to this shit. There's always levels. For me, um, I'm extremely there are two levels that I deal in predominantly. I deal in peace and joy. Right. So I'm usually at peace, and I'm always one who says boredom is peace. I don't know if somebody else said it before me, but I've been saying it for the last 20 years to myself. Boredom is peace. Because I grew up around turmoil, and so when nothing was happening, as long as I was bored, I counted my blessings for being bored because I could be excited in a negative way, and I could be dealing with some turmoil. So I've always
Mm,
said boredom is peace. So my baseline for happiness is peace. Peace is king in my home. We maintain peace and just light, positive, good air in our home. The atmospheric pressure here is nothing, right? Light tension, light everything, and then from that point, once you get past boredom into peace, you can do things that bring joy to the atmosphere. You can do things that bring joy to your heart and joy to yourself. Make yourself proud every day. So as long as I'm at peace, right? As long as I'm calm and there's nothing going on, I'm truly happy with that because that means it's the result of my successes from the days prior, right? Because it takes some success to reach boredom, to reach peace, to for, th- for
yeah.
for things to settle, right? For there to be nothing to worry about. That takes a lot of effort, and once you finally get to that place, you really have to take advantage of it. You have to appreciate it. But there is obviously another level to it. There's very intense forms of pleasure and very intense forms of joy that are a result of you just handling your responsibilities to such a degree that you're thriving and you've surpassed surviving and you're really in a place where you're operating in abundance. But that could be abundance mentally, spiritually, it could be financial, it could be energetic. But when you operate in abundance, it really pulls more pleasure and more joy into your happiness, and so it's a more active, more contagious type of happy. So yeah, I do believe that there are levels to happiness, but again, they all are contingent on you being as great as you've decided you want to be. Right, the man you want to be, the man you hope to be. The more you resemble him, the more pleased you are with who you are. The more pleased you are
Mm,
with self. Right, and so the more content you become. You cannot be content if you haven't accomplished any of the things you want or you haven't grown into the man you want to be. Unless the man you want to be is, just something that you don't think is there, and that's when you get people unhappy and depressed because they feel inadequate. Right. So
mm,
as long as your sense of adequacy resides in a realistic place of the type of man you want to be or the type of woman you want to be, if you're watching this, as long as you can resemble that person and ultimately become that person, your joy and your inner happiness may be increased. But it starts with you just deciding what that looks like, who you want to be, what type of person do I want to be, what type of person would I be proud of if I was at my best. Try to figure that out, and I think if you're successful at resembling that person from time to time, and then day to day, and then minute to minute, ultimately you will grow in at least adequacy, if not joy and happiness. But for me, it's more about the impact a person makes, whether or not they should be proud of themselves, and so that can be dangerous too. Basing your happiness on what you do for others, that can lead to people pleasing. But we're talking about
right.
family. Family men have responsibilities, so beyond people pleasing, we just have to make sure that our families are straight, especially if you got a wife and kids. So um, just being a real man, being a good person, a good human being should afford you enough peace that you have room to grow into a place of joy or pleasure.
Absolutely. That's all facts, man. I believe that. And I think it's important to also obviously value your happiness, and with success, I think comes with your ability to protect your happiness, your peace. Because like I said, if you're not securing your home, um, not taking care of things for when you're not here, i.e. life insurance, things like that, so they can sustain the type of life that you created for them, and that's your family as a whole created for
Yeah,
themselves. So that's another thing, having that foresight, thinking ahead, being proactive, because you want to sustain that success. You want to sustain that peace, like you said, that
hmm
happiness, because you don't want shit to be tumbling down when once you leave this earth. So
yeah,
that's something else we got to keep in mind as well. Hmm. Yep. But now this was interesting, man. This was a great topic. Um, so you really can't have one without the other. There's levels to happiness, levels to success. But again, we have to define that in the beginning.
yeah. For
We have to make
yourself,
sure we right, clear,
for
understand. It's
yourself.
personable,
That's
very
not the
personable.
American. It's not the American dream. It's not what your mama wanted for you, what your daddy wanted for you. It's not cars and clothes and homes. Like you decide what success means for you. And
Hmm.
usually, success is living a life that you can be proud of, living a life that you can be happy in, right? Living a life that brings you peace, love, joy, fulfillment, and contentment. And finding those in ways outside of whatever programming was forced upon you.
Yeah.
You might agree with some of the programming, so keep that what you agree with, but you decide what you want for yourself, who you want to be, and as long as you can recognize yourself every day, as long as you're proud of the effort you gave life, not just your job, not just your business, yeah, like not just your fatherhood or your husbandhood, but the effort you gave yourself. It could mean, taking better care of yourself. Health is wealth, right? As we always
Yeah.
say, health is happiness. Um,
Hmm.
but you decide what you value, and as long as you're a man who operates or a woman who operates within their values and principles, and you're seeing those things through, at some point you can be proud of yourself, and that pride is happiness, right? That peace
Hmm.
and that contentment in who you are and what you're becoming is happiness. And we always want to grow, we always want to evolve, but for the most part, we never get there. So success again is a journey. We never really successful. That's not the end result is what happened. Like yeah, you dead yet? You know what I'm saying? Like what you're
Right.
dead. You're dead now. What what will they say about you? What would you have said about you? Are you happy? Is your deathbed full of regrets? Like every day you get a choice. You can choose to do things that make you proud of who you are and make you by default more happy, by proximity to those successes more happy, or you
Hmm.
can choose to put your head in the sand and just be happy anyway. And we'll realize very quickly that sometimes that is us just playing with ourselves. So nothing worth having comes without work, without dedication. Even peace.
Hmm.
Protecting my peace requires a lot of management, energetic management, relationship management,
Yeah.
job, like sometimes you got to put people out of your life. Sometimes you got to pull different people into your life. Sometimes you got to get closer to certain people and get further away from other people, other
That's right.
jobs, other habits, patterns, practices. So just being an active manager of what you take in and what you put out leads to a great deal of happiness as well. But again,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Kev with the gems once again. Once again, man, this was a great show. Hope all of you enjoyed it. If you have, please like, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you're thinking. Bring some other people into the fold. You know what I mean? Again, we're still on Anchor. We're still doing our audio podcasting, where a lot of you probably came over to before. If not, if you're new to the channel, go check out some of our old content. Some of that is still on this channel in audio form. So yeah, please support. Check out the links below. All right. So without further ado, I'm Dale Holloway. That's Kev Hick. Peace and love.
peace and love.